Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Building a Strong Foundation for a Healthy Family Summit. I'm your host, Andrea Milioti, and today the topic is changing the narrative on foster homes. And I have with me Ali Brorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just make sure that I said that right. And Ali Brorman is a foster youth who has exceeded the world's expectations. She is part of the less than 3% of foster youth who not only graduated from high school, but also went to college and graduated from college. She wears many hats, ranging from a real estate agent by day and by night, a mom to a spunky 8-month-old. I love that. What I'm gonna do is let Allie give a little bit more brief about herself right now. Allie?
Yeah, so I'm Allie Brorman. My full name is Alicia, for those of you who know me by that. I am a huge advocate for the foster system. I grew up in the foster system, pretty much in and out spotty all my life. And so now I feel like it's my job to be the voice for the voiceless, to kind of step up and show, the atrocities that are happening.
I love
Beyond
that.
that, like I said, I am a mother, and that has been a big deal for me because growing up in the foster system, not knowing unconditional love or understanding how a parent should respond to their child, it's like I didn't have that blueprint or that map, right? So whenever I got
Exactly.
pregnant, it was like, what do I do? But I mean, when they say that your instincts kicked in, they really do. And so that has been such a journey and a blessing. And being able to pour the love into him that I didn't receive at such a young age has just been amazing.
Yeah,
So,
that really is. That is like your experience, like what what has your experience in the foster, like with your foster family? What has that, like how has that been an impact to you?
so we'll start, in the very beginning, whenever I was a lot younger, I was kind of tossed in and out of the system. And luckily, I don't remember a lot about those times because I was so young. But then, whenever I was 7 years old, I was placed back into the system with two of my siblings. And that was in Oklahoma. And the shelters were atrocious. I was having to scrounge for food to feed my siblings, literally. I mean,
Right.
we got small portions, and the older kids would want to steal from the younger kids. I mean, it was a fight every day, right?
Really?
Moving forward, I was adopted by my great aunt and great uncle
Right.
who moved us to Texas. And that was an interesting situation. I actually ended up being sexually abused by my uncle for quite some time, and then being put back into the foster system once I came out about the abuse and, put him into prison. And so I've gone in and out. Now, all of that to say, I got super lucky. And at the age of 17, I landed the Brormans, which is my last name now. It is unheard of to be adopted at 17, but these people they have the biggest hearts. And
Oh my God.
they took me in as a foster child, and I was ready to just be emancipated and be on my own and figure life out, right? But one day after I'd been with him for a few months, they came in and they asked me if I wanted to be a Brorman, if I wanted to be part of the family. And that was one of the best days of my life. Because although I was very stubborn and independent, and I didn't, I felt like I didn't need a family, right? Because all my
Right.
been tossed around the system, I was like, oh, I've got this. I can be by myself. And so it took a lot for me to become vulnerable again and allow them to love me the way that they wanted to. It was
Awesome.
definitely a journey, but goodness gracious, they fought for me. They didn't never gave up on me, and they adopted me at 17. And now they are the grandparents to Zane, my beautiful little boy. And I mean, I
Oh, and
super,
your boy is what, 8 months, right?
he's
He's
actually 9 months now. Yeah,
okay. So, oh my
he's
God.
growing so fast.
I know they go, yeah. I have two. I have two adults. I have my daughter's 26 and my son is 22. And oh boy, I don't know where the years go.
Yes, I feel like
Goes
I
by
just popped
fast.
out the oven.
But yeah, no, definitely. Oh my God, awesome. So now, what do you think? What should people be like? People who are thinking about being foster. What is something? that they should be thinking about? What kind of people should be foster parents? Like, how would they, like, if they're thinking, like, you know what? There's so many parents out there too, like for one reason or another, maybe they can't have kids of their own. They really want to be parents. Like, what's something that they should be like? No,
So I love this question for a lot of reasons because there is not a one size fits all for this, right? I
right,
think if you have the heart and the compassion to love another, even, and I always explain it to a lot of the people I talk about like this, right? It's like that decision to get a puppy, right? Like,
right,
it's, oh, you're taking on additional, obviously, like responsibilities and you're having to love and care for another being. It's literally, it's whenever I'm saying that, I'm saying it's just as simple. Like making the decision to become a foster parent, it starts with you deciding within yourself, one, do I have love to give this person? Because if so, I promise you, there is no, like I said, no one size fits all. There's not a perfect way to go about becoming a foster parent. I
right,
think that if you have the desire or even the heart to give, because these children didn't ask to be put into the situation that they're put into. And so
right,
by you coming in and even providing as a foster parent before adopting and just allowing for that time period to allow the child into your home, you have literally that whole time period to impact that child. It's
right,
not like necessarily something that you have to commit to or adopt that child, but even providing, I always, so it's a system that I call VIEW, right? Not VIEW, but VUE. So I always say, like, you have the opportunity to validate them and
right,
validate the story, which in turn uplifts them. And then that empowers them to succeed, right? So that's like one of the biggest things that I, throughout my entire time in the foster system, received was just a lot of people who, angels, I call them, that touched my life and interceded in my life at times when I needed them. And so as a foster parent, you have that same opportunity, but even more so because they're in your home. And most of them, they don't have that strong foundation, right? We're talking about the strong foundations to build a family. They don't have
right,
that. The stability that they're receiving is insane. And so for you to even just reach out and give them an opportunity to have some sort of stability and care and love, that's an impact that will last their entire lifetime. And I can say that from experience, right? Some
yep,
people are like, oh, well, even if I just keep them for a week, I'm not creating an impact. I mean, there are people that I met for a few days who said words to me that still resonate with
it
me
could still, it doesn't matter if it's a couple of days, a week, a year, a lifetime. It doesn't matter how long, just like you said, all it does is take a few words somebody can say that makes a huge impact, you
exactly.
know?
Exactly.
Because you can meet somebody right away and they can say something. You can just meet somebody and they can say something that impacts you because it's
Exactly.
just something that they said that
Yeah.
almost like could change the course of your life. And
Yes.
it could be a complete stranger too. So yeah, I love that. I love that. And like, so did your what big impact did your foster family when they adopted you at 17? What big impact did they make for you?
So, and this is a story I love to share. So, me and my foster family, we fought and we toggled, and it was not easy, right? They
Right,
got me at 17, so I was just already set in my ways. And no matter how much love they poured into me, I was at a point where I was rejecting, right? I had my walls built up high, and I was like, this isn't real. This is fake love. I don't even know what love is at this point. And so I just wasn't allowing them in.
right,
And it really, really, really took a lot for me. And I mean, even after the adoption, right, there was still turmoil um, there to be settled because I was still had my walls up because I had been adopted so many times prior.
right,
Even, the people who adopted me before betrayed me in many ways and
right,
left me out to rot. So it's like, how was I supposed to look at them and believe that they would be providing me with, that foundation or with that love or with that family like they're saying they would? And
right,
so what they did for me and the impact that they made for me was that they never gave up on me, right? So no matter how much I pushed them away, they kept coming. Whenever I needed space for a little bit, they'd give me space, but they always made it known like, hey, we're here for you. And I
right,
remember one day, I was just, I mean, I was at an ends. I was like, you guys don't care about me. And of course, these aren't things that I said out loud, but it was just thoughts, right? It's those thoughts in
Right.
your subconscious that are running through your brain telling you, like, hey, avoid this. You don't want to be hurt again. And so one day, me and my dad now were arguing, and I just finally ran to my door and slammed my door, or ran to my room and slammed the door shut because I was just so done. And, I thought I knew everything because I'm a little 17-year-old girl. And he comes in with tears in his eyes and he's just like, when will you be able to see that we love you? Like this is real. And it just like, it really hit me like, oh my gosh, like this grown man is crying, telling me he loves me. Like, obviously, he's not doing that, just out of acting. This must be real. They must have love for me. And so they really impacted me in that way that they showed me that I could love, right? Not only that I could love, but I could receive love because
That's beautiful.
I've always been the one to pour my love into others, but receiving it was always hard for me. And so they helped open up those doors and allowed me to receive the love that I deserved. And so, I mean, I can't thank them
Beautiful.
enough for everything that they've done for me, but that's definitely one of
That
the
is so beautiful. I mean, I absolutely love that because, just those words to see, like you can see somebody saying that to you. And like, with those tears, like you said, like it just, oh my God, like that gives me the chills. Cause just the thought of it, because you know what? It doesn't take like whether you're like to be a, you could have, there's a lot of parents who are parents that have baby that don't have that love, that don't give that. That's sad to say, especially like me. Like I love my kids so much, and like sometimes it hurts with the pain. Like there's so much, but I love with everything. But there are so many parents that just don't give it, and that's their own. That's why I say I don't think my motto is I don't think it doesn't anybody really can have a child. I mean, yeah, there are people who are but anybody can have a child is what basically, but not anybody could be a mom or a dad
right.
because that's why it doesn't take. You know what? Sometimes when you have a foster family and you have somebody that adopts you, that love is more than if they had you. You
Yes.
know?
I mean, and I get that question all the time of like, especially now that, I've had my son,
Yeah.
people ask me all the time, well, isn't it weird because that's not really like their grandchild? And
It
it's interesting
is. No, that's not weird at all. It is their grandchild.
because my mother and my father, I mean, mom and dad, neither of them would ever, I mean, that thought
They
has never,
adopted you. They
yeah,
adopted you. It doesn't matter that they didn't have you, they adopted you.
exactly. And my mom always says that she loves it because it's like she's getting to make up for lost time with me as a child. Now she's
Yeah.
getting to do that
I'm
through,
sure that they probably love your son. They
oh,
probably adore him.
yes,
Right?
definitely.
That's beautiful. I love that. And I know I love this topic because I just know that it's going to reach so many people because there's so many people that are in this situation, know of people in this situation. There's so many people that just like people that go in and out of foster homes who
Yes,
aren't even finding the right. I mean, parents who just like they said that parents who want to go there who don't understand it
right.
would help them so much. So this has been really great. Thank you. So like if somebody wants to reach out to you, how could they do that?
Yeah, so you can always reach out to me through Instagram. That's kind of where I'm most active. So my tag is at the.alley.view, the
Right.
VU, right? Because we're validating, uplifting, and empowering.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. I love that.
yes, and that's just, I think it's so important. And it resonates beyond foster kids, right? It can be applied to anyone.
I love
But
that view. VUE. I love that like that. That is so nice.
thank you so much. Yes,
Awesome.
I just it was a big ordeal throughout my entire life, and I feel like that helped change the narrative for me, and I hope that we can help change the narrative for the foster thousands of foster children around the U.S. So
Awesome.
I'm
Thank
excited.
you so much. I love this. This has been so good. And I know that people are going to get so much value from this. And just like definitely be, and I think, did you have something you wanted to offer everybody that watches it? I think you did send something. You had something.
I did not, but
Okay.
I wanted to showcase my book is actually coming out the day that this is being released, so on
Oh,
September.
that's what it was. Okay. That's
Yes.
what it was. Okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. So then that's good. That's the book that I see.
Yes,
So your
ma'am.
background, what is
Yes.
that? She is an
And
overcomer.
yes.
I
So
love it.
me and 30 other women came together as a collective and we wrote stories. So each of us have a chapter on our overcoming our experience. And so mine is
I
about
love that. That is definitely a book. We'll just have to get that out and get that promoted. That'll be coming out. I'll have to get one myself because that sounds like amazing. That would
yeah,
be love. Awesome.
stories were amazing for sure.
Yeah.
Help.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much, Allie. I really appreciate this. And I know that everybody got a lot of value from it. And thank you for being part of this.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, hold on. Let me just